Okay, we're getting going on YouTube. I'll be with you in just a second. Make sure I'm muted over there. Going on YouTube. Okay, so it's happening. Welcome to the 7 myth-busting secrets your past business coaches did not want you to know. This is a heart shot from me to you. I have been in business for 14 years as a coach, and there are certain things that I've seen as I've mentored hundreds of coaches. There are things that make sense and will land as truth likely in your body when you hear them, but aren't necessarily sold or marketed because they're not sexy. They are things that are true, but that you can't really sell. They're not cookie cutters. They're not launch plans. They're not how to use Facebook to make $1 million kinds of things. They're tried and true. And it's how I run my business. It's how I mentor and coach coaches to run their businesses. It's how I support people. And I want you to have them because we should all have the things that make life easier, because when life is easier, business is easier. And I think these things do both. So thank you for being here. I'm Karin Gillen. I am a life coach for remarkable humans and a mentor to many coaches. I work with one-on-one, and then I run small group coaching. And I just want you to have these today by video, by audio here, so that you can get what you need. Take what you need and leave the rest. This isn't a video or an opt-in where there's a bunch of homework for you to do. This is a place for you to come and kind of let the spa treatment land in your brain, walk away with what you need and leave the rest. Okay. So number 1, all you need are 12 to 24 sales per year to have a successful full-time coaching practice. If you're part-time, you can get away with even less. So think about that, 12 to 24 sales per year. And when I give you that number, what I'm saying is, if you want to have 12 clients at a time, then you would have, and you have 6-month packages, this could be 24 clients a year, right? It could be that you see people for a full year. I'm talking about longer term one-on-one coaching, because that's the kind of business that could make the sustainable business of coaching practices work. One-on-one, charging a little bit more and having longer term packages. If you're trying to get to selling 1,000 products, this is a different model. Okay. So we're going to sell, let's say you want to sell coaching for $1,000 a month. So a year, one client in that spot for a year is $12,000. 15 clients at a time for that full year is $180,000 a year business. That's a decent business, right? I do want to let you know that 100K isn't what it used to be. And I think shooting for 250K a year is a much more sustainable number, where you're able to put into retirement, save money, take vacations, do all the things you want to do. But you sell 12 to 24 people on coaching every year. And then what happens is those people come back. I have clients who I'm coaching right now who I coached 6 years ago. They left, they did other things, life changed, I changed, they came back. I have clients who started working with me 2 years ago and have re-signed and kept working with me. You are going to have clients who sign up for one 6-month coaching package and re-sign to work with you for another 6 months. That means getting one client sells 2 packages or 3 packages or 4 packages. One new client in the door has the potential for a lot more than just one sale. So when I say 12 to 24 clients a year means you can have a sustainable coaching practice, that's what I mean. You're showing up, you're running a high integrity business, and people are able to stick with you and grow with you and keep coaching with you. The other thing I want to put just as an aside on this one is that running a one-on-one coaching practice is the easiest business that there is, period. We don't have to have an office space. We don't have to have inventory we don't have $100,000 worth of parts for people's mufflers sitting in the back room. We don't have to have tools that people can potentially steal. I learn a tool, it's in me forever. You get coach certified, you've got that. It's yours, right? We don't have to have rows and rows of shoes to sell and be constantly ordering new merchandise. We're lucky. The fact that we want to do this to be coaches, it's incredible. Enjoy it. Enjoy the ease that comes with this business. Yes, there are hard parts, but please don't miss the ease. All right. The other thing I want you to remember in terms of those getting the 12 to 24 clients a year is that everything that you've done is still working for you. You did a podcast interview back in 1994. Did podcasts exist then? Let's say 2004, potentially. That thing is still working. People could still find that. I can Google your name and that interview might show up right after all the social medias. So when I work with a client, I don't just work with that client for that individual time, and neither should you. What you're doing is you're working with that individual and everyone they know, because you do good work and they tell people about it. People see our clients changing their lives and they want to know what's happening. They want to be like, you talked about doing X, Y, or Z for years, and now you've actually done it. Like, what actually changed for you? Because I don't hear you complaining anymore. People want to know what's happening when things are happening for other people. So our work has legs. Those people go out in the world, they continue to grow and change. They don't forget the transformational moments that they've had in their lives. Do amazing work with amazing humans, and nothing disappears. It all goes, think about it like that snowball running down the hill. All right, this is number 2. You never need to make $1 million in a single year. I know there are a lot of people telling you how to scale to 1 million, and there are a lot of people selling you the idea that $1 million in 1 year is the way to go. It might not be the way to go for you. And I've said that out loud enough times and seen the relief on people's faces enough times to know that this is an important message. You do not need to make $1 million in any given year, and you can still be a millionaire. You make $250,000 for 3 years straight. I'm guessing there's some money piling up around you. You're going to want to figure out how to invest that, keep it around. Your net worth is going to grow. Good luck being a coach making $200K plus for more than 3 years and not keeping going, right? What you've done to build to that space sticks with you, right? That snowball still grows. Your earning power, your earning potential is going to grow. You're going to be amassing some wealth that's really going to have an impact on your life and your family's life. This is a huge gift. Manage it well and trust that it will grow as long as you take care of it and you take care of yourself. But I just want you to know that you don't have to build $1 million business. And the reason I say that is because it's not the easiest business to build. It's for people who want to have a team. Do you want to manage people? Are you good at it? Great. Do it. Does your business want to be scaled? Great. Do it. Do you want to be somebody who grows a large business that potentially you want to sell? Great. Go and do it. But not every single coach who loves the practice of coaching and coaching people one-on-one is here to build a giant business that they have to have lots of staff and lots of different, all the lawyer things and the trademarking and all the stuff. You don't have to do all that to make a big impact on your life and the life of your family. So it's okay if you don't want to go there. You don't have to. You never do. All right. I also want, that was like the big thing. And now here's a little tiny thing that is also a huge thing. You can have great support in your business doing all the little repeatable tasks that you don't like to do or that you suck at if you're like me for $300 a month. Do not underestimate the power of hiring a virtual assistant, a VA, for $30 an hour or whatever, something around there, to do all that stuff for you for 10 hours a month. 10 hours a month of support for $30 an hour is so valuable. It is so worth it. It is so incredible to have. It will help you be more creative. It will help you get more done. It will help you not feel like you're so alone in your business as a solopreneur. I want to say this because it's doable. I think when we hear people talking about building $1 million businesses, we also hear them talking about their teams and these kind of big business growth strategies that require designers and Facebook ads people and online business managers and all this stuff. We don't need all that stuff to have really successful one-on-one coaching practices, or even, like I just have a virtual assistant in my business, and she does work more than 10 hours a month. And I do pay her more than $30 an hour, and she's incredible. We have a long-term ongoing relationship, and I value it hugely. But that's what I have, right? And I make more than I'm telling you is a good idea to make here. So this can be done. This is what we want. We want to have support so that we can really be out in our gifts and do what we love doing and be able to walk away and trust that someone else is going to get that ball across the line, right? And we can go on trips with our families, and we can have a support email address that maybe goes to someone besides us. That's okay to have. We can have that. It can be a VA. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be scaled everything, hire everybody, do all the things you've ever heard of. We can really hone in on just what we're great at, just do that, charge great money for it, have one person who's an incredible support, and have it really be affordable for us. All right, number 4, cold traffic is not winning. People put this prize out there like cold traffic is the holy grail. It isn't. You know what it is? Warm traffic, hot traffic, people who already work with you who say yes to working with you again. Because what does that tell us? What we're doing is working. We're working with the right people. People like what we're doing. People are getting results from what we're doing because they're coming back for more. If you want to test the relevance of your business, how many people are coming back? It's harder to get cold traffic than it is to keep warm traffic. The holy grail is keeping warm traffic when it makes sense for them, right? Not everyone's going to stick around forever, and not everybody should, but the people who it makes sense for, if they're not sticking around, look back at yourself. What's going on? Are you not following through? Where are you out of integrity? Check that. Because if you are showing up, you're in integrity, you're doing the right work for the right people, they're going to stick around. And that is absolutely the holy grail. And that is what I want for all of us, is the right clients for the right amount of time. It's just more fun that way. All right. A side note for that one, please have an email list. I'm not putting this as one of the 7. I just want you to know it's really important. Social media is not owned by us. Our email lists are owned by us. I'm guessing you already have one, but I'm just putting in the plug. We've seen enough dudes ruin enough social media platforms to know that we are not in charge of those. We need to be in charge of our community, our building our communities, and that happens on our list. Yes, social media is great. Please have a list. All right, number 5 is you do not ever have to scale. Ever. You never, ever have to scale. Do you feel the freedom? Do you feel like the weight off your shoulders of that? Because I know I do. Some of us are starting movements, and they're bigger than us, and they will scale, and that will become pretty apparent. Others of us aren't. Others of us are practitioners who want to coach, who love one-on-one work, who love small group work, and we're going to do that. We don't have to scale that. We get to be coaches. Okay? Unscalable business is doable. It is fun. It is profitable. If you try to take a business that's not ready to scale and you try to force it to, you will lose your profits. If you take a business that wants to be one-on-one and small group focused and is run by you, a solopreneur coaching practice, and you try to scale it, it will cost you a lot of money. So if you think you're leaning that way, I want you to have some really serious conversations with people who can talk strategy and who can be really honest with you about where your business is going, what the numbers will be and need to be to take it where you want it to go. For those of us who are interested in running highly profitable, sustainable practices without a bunch of staff or contractors, don't scale. You don't have to. And I mean, I come from the belief that if a business wants to scale, it will show you the way. You'll feel it. It'll be a movement. It'll be bigger than you, and you're going to know it. And I can see that when it's happening. And I coach people in those instances too, but that certainly is not everybody. All right. So number 6 is that businesses ebb and flow, just like nature. We are a part of nature. We ebb and flow. Businesses are run by us. Solopreneur practices are going to have highs and lows, seasons where lots is happening and seasons where we're composting. Because we are nature, so are our businesses, because they're small enough. They are us. They are of us. So we have to, if we're going to have any kind of grace at all, build that in. Trust the seasonality of us too, because it will be reflected in what we do. And there are ways that you can build and plan and have your calendar and your content and your stuff show up for you in a way that keeps a more straight line, but still, there's going to be some flow here. And there are 2 things that I want to highlight about how to normalize the ups and downs and the waves that we're all going to go through. One of those things is you might be better served looking at your revenue numbers, your numbers of consults per whatever, in terms of a quarter versus a month. For some of us selling longer term packages, or especially once you get into doing small group work, if you do that, if you're looking at month to month to month, it can be really, can give you like a neck ache, right? But if you look at a quarter spread out over every 3 months, it can kind of even out some of those big highs and big lows. So just feel that out for yourself. If it feels like a quarter is going to ease some of the struggle or pain that you might feel as a solopreneur, think about life in terms of quarters. This isn't so that you can not think about your business for 2.5 months and then freak out at the last 2 weeks of the quarter. This is so you can stay in the consistency that you've been doing and just look at those numbers in a different way. The other thing I recommend always with this is running Profit First in your business. It is a book by Mike M. Can't pronounce his last name, but you will find it if you Google Profit First. And what I love about this is anyone who is coming from the world of paychecks, where maybe you got paid every 2 weeks or every month and you like that cadence, it shows you how to set up your money in a way that you can continue to do that. Different percentages, whatever. He goes into it into the book. But what I have loved about it is I have paid myself the exact same amount for a really long time every month out of my owner's pay account. And I love that I get to do that. It's not like, oh, I got to pay myself in July because I launched a group, but then I didn't get to pay myself in August or September because I didn't launch until October again. I just like the feeling of the monthly consistency. I think that works for how our world works. We get bills every month, so let's get paid every month. Okay, this last one is super important, even though it comes last, and it's kind of the bonus one. I just want this to be a reminder to feel the success that you've created. I work with so many people who don't identify as successful coaches, but who are. And the only reason we're not owning that is because we don't let ourselves. We're consistently putting goals out in front of ourselves and chasing them, hitting them, and then putting another one out and chasing it, which can make it feel like I'm never winning. One of my clients made this great analogy about hiking. It's that when he timed it, he would go hiking and realize that it was only 3% of the time that he was actually at the top of the mountain. And the whole thing is like, oh, we're summiting. But 97% of the time, we're just hiking and sitting and having a snack, and we're hiking up or we're hiking down. It's 3% of the time is that pinnacle, that peak goal. So how do you want to feel the other 97% of the time when you're in the hike, when you're coming down from the summit? You want to feel good. You want to remember, like, I am a successful coach. I have a successful business. I run a successful practice. It's okay to believe that. You'll still keep going after your goals. You get to let yourself feel the success. And if you don't, who will? Okay. Enjoy the build. That's the other thing there. Like, why not enjoy it? No one else is going to sign you up to enjoy the business that you created from your mind. You have to do that. Okay. So that's it. Those are my 7 myth busting secrets that your past business coaches didn't want you to know. And part of that's because it's so simple. And part of that's because it's kind of boring, right? I just told you a whole bunch of really freedom creating, boring stuff. And I hope you'll take it to heart and let it land. And once you do that, if you have any feedback for me, feel free to hit reply to any one of my emails and just tell me how this is going for you, how it's landing for you. I'd love to hear what you're up to. All right. Thank you for being here. I'll keep talking to you over the next couple of weeks here, but I appreciate you. Thanks for being one of us out here on the front lines of the coaching industry, working with the humans to make the change that we all can feel needs to be made. It's brave work. It's courageous work. I'm glad you're here.